Rhys James, player of the match today. How pleased can Chelsea be with that performance, and how pleased can Rhys James be with his own performance today?
I think first,
when 10-man Chelsea held Arsenal to a 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge, one player stood above everyone else on the pitch. The captain, the leader, the man who refused to let his team crumble under pressure. Rhys James put on a performance so incredible that even Arsenal legends were forced to admit he was absolutely unstoppable. If you are joining us for the first time, tell us the country you are watching from, and welcome to the channel. This is where we bring you the real stories behind the game, the quotes you need to hear, and the passion that makes football beautiful. If you love Chelsea and you want to stay updated with everything happening at the Bridge, smash that like button and subscribe. We are building something special here, and you do not want to miss out. Sunday, November 30th, 2025 will go down as one of the most gutsy performances you will ever see from Chelsea. Arsenal came to Stamford Bridge 5 points clear at the top, fresh off beating Bayern Munich 3-1, looking like champions. Chelsea matched them blow for blow, even after Moises Caicedo saw red in the 38th minute. This is about the man who stepped up when everything looked lost. This is about Rhys James and what everyone said about his performance. Let me start with Enzo Maresca. After the game, Maresca was asked if James would play the full 90 minutes against Leeds. His answer? No. But then he said, when you are with 10 players against Arsenal, for sure, if you want to take a point or win the game, you need some special performance, like Robert Sanchez and like Rhys James. He called James' performance fantastic and top. Arsenal had 11 men. Arsenal are the best team in England. And Maresca is saying, to survive that storm, you need something extraordinary. You need a Rhys James putting in the kind of display that makes people remember why he is one of the best in the world.
So twofold question for me. On one hand, how key football and 10 man in fight, how key was Rob Sanchez in terms of keeping that sort of power collective going? And secondly, Rhys James, another phenomenal performance. Can he do that again on Wednesday night without Caicedo?
No. Yeah, it's no. The reality is no. Robert was very good. When you are with 10 players against Arsenal, for sure, if you want to take a point or win the game, you need some special performance like Robert, like Rhys, as you said. So we are very happy with the Robert performance. Rhys, now serious, his performance has been fantastic, top. Now we have game on Wednesday. For him, very good that we need to manage him. We need to control. We need to, control a little bit his situation. But it was very good tonight.
Maresca also said Chelsea were a much better team than Arsenal at 11 versus 11. But with 10 players, it is difficult. Yet they dealt with it outstandingly. But here is where it gets really interesting. The pundits, the former players, the people who are paid to analyze football and spot greatness, they could not stop talking about Rhys James. Daniel Sturridge was on Sky Sports and could not stop raving. Sturridge called James an absolute beast. He said, James has struggled with injuries throughout his career, but there is no doubt he is an absolutely unbelievable football player. The versatility he brings to this team, the set pieces. He has got all the tools to play in midfield and at right back. He was an absolute beast today. It was a very experienced and professional performance. He played very, very well. Now, before I continue, let me ask you something. Do you think Rhys James is the best right back in the world right now? Not just in England, in the world. Think about it. Trent Alexander-Arnold at Liverpool, Danny Carvajal at Real Madrid, Achraf Hakimi at PSG. Where does James rank among them? Drop your answer in the comments below because I want to hear what you think.
I think firstly for Chelsea, they'll be very pleased. I think the manager will be in that dressing room congratulating the players for sticking to the task and understanding it was a naive tackle by Caicedo, but how focused they were to ensure that Arsenal weren't going to get clear chances. They worked tirelessly as a team. Everybody, every last one of them gave absolutely everything, and that's what it's all about. In order to be successful, you've got to sacrifice yourself as an attacker, for sure. When you've got 10 men, it's important for you as one of the attackers to not necessarily think about scoring goals, and usually you'd reserve your energy to score goals, whereas in this case you reserve your energy to defend and ensure that you're making it difficult for the opposition. As for Rhys James, I mean, we're talking about a player who's been in the first team environment now for many years and has become a senior player for this group. He's been at the club nearly 20 years and struggled with injuries throughout his career, specifically over the last couple of years, but there's no doubt he's an absolutely unbelievable football player. The versatility he brings to this team, the set pieces that he can bring, he's got all the tools to be able to play in midfield and to play right back. He was an absolute beast today. Gave him so much running power in midfield. It was a very, very experienced and professional performance from him, and he played very, very well.
We were saying, Theo, there aren't many players with England who play in one position for their club and another for their country.
Yes, it's brilliant.
Unique right now.
It's very unique, and as well, it's a great, not problem, but it's another option that obviously Thomas Tuchel can have in certain games, because his delivery itself, set pieces, which are so important for a lot of clubs and a lot of national teams these days. But what I'm really pleased to see in his development is his growth and his leadership skills, because he's obviously been questioned in the past about is he a leader, is he a captain? He clearly is.
Theo Walcott is an Arsenal legend. He spent years at the Emirates, and even he could not deny what he saw from James. Walcott named James as player of the match. He said there have been questions in the past about whether James is a leader or a captain. He clearly is on today's performance.
Is on today's performance. You're playing against Declan Rice and the other Caicedo next to him, and he's player of the match. For me, looking at the Arsenal sense, they'd be disappointed and they didn't test him enough. But he was absolutely outstanding today. He really was, from start to finish.
Playing against Declan Rice, he was the player of the match. In an Arsenal sense, they will be disappointed they did not test him enough. He was outstanding from start to finish. An Arsenal legend telling Arsenal fans their team should be disappointed because they could not test Rhys James enough. That is respect. Walcott also called James very unique and said what pleased him was seeing James' growth and leadership skills. He pointed out that James' versatility will be another option for Thomas Tuchel at the World Cup next year. When reflecting on the match, Walcott said, even though Chelsea went down to 10 men, you would not have guessed it because they played so well, with James in particular standing out. London World gave James a 9 out of 10 rating, the highest of any Chelsea player. They wrote, this was Rhys James at his very best. A calming presence, constantly vocal to organize his side. Sportsmole called him Captain Courageous, who was here, there, and everywhere. Here is another question for you. Should Maresca keep playing James in midfield more often, or is he wasted there when he could be dominating at right back? This is a serious tactical question, because James showed against Arsenal that he can absolutely boss the middle of the park. Romeo Lavia is injured. Caicedo is suspended for 3 games. Maybe James in midfield is the answer for big matches. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Now let me tell you what James himself said, because this shows you the mentality of a true champion. After being named man of the match, after putting in one of the best individual performances you will see all season, James said it was disappointing to come away with only 1 point. Disappointing. Most teams would be celebrating holding Arsenal to a draw with 10 men. Not Rhys James. He wanted all 3 points. That is the mentality of a winner. He said everyone can see where Chelsea are and what they are fighting for. Today was a big statement. Even though we wanted to win, there are positives to take from that. He explained that Maresca changed the formation slightly after the red card because they knew they would not have the ball as much, and Arsenal were going to come and come and come. So they had to soak up the pressure, and they did exactly that. James also said he thought there might be another red card, given there were 7 or 8 players on yellow cards. And it was a London derby where everyone wants to win. He was talking about the Piero Hincapié elbow on Trevoh Chalobah that left Chalobah with a black eye at halftime. James thought Hincapié should have been sent off too.
Well played, a real battle of a London derby. That you're pretty proud on the whole of the way you pushed them to the limit today.
Yeah, it's obviously disappointing, to come away with only 1 point. We went down to 10 men pretty early in the game, and that made it difficult. I felt, we had a lot more of the ball when it was 11v11, and going down to 10 made it more difficult.
Yeah, and God, that really says something that you stood here disappointed against a team like that, given that they had that man advantage for so long. Does that tell you about the progress you've made?
No, I think everyone can see, where we are, what we're fighting for. I think today was, a big statement. Even though we wanted to win, there's lots of positives to take from that.
How were you able to give them so many problems tactically in that first sort of 30, 40 minutes before obviously Caicedo got the red card?
No, we worked hard. There's a lot of, analysis and, hard work from the managing staff that, sets us up the right way and wants us to, play and perform in a certain way that, he thinks will hurt them.
Physically, in that midfield particularly, did it feel like a game on the edge, looking from the side?
The stats from that game will blow your mind. James was the most fouled player with 4 fouls against him, showing how much of a threat he was. He created 2 chances. He delivered 6 passes into the final third. He completed 3 accurate crosses from 4 attempts. But here is the defensive masterclass. He was not dribbled past once. Not once. He won all 6 of his ground duels. That is 100% success rate. He won 5 out of 6 aerial duels. That is 83% in the air. Do you understand what those numbers mean? It means Arsenal could not get past him on the ground. They could barely beat him in the air. He was a wall, an absolute wall. And on top of all that defensive work, he still created the assist for Trevoh Chalobah's goal with a perfect corner delivery in the 47th minute. One more question for you before I wrap this up. If Chelsea win the Premier League this season, how important will Rhys James be to that success? Is he the most important player in the squad? More important than Cole Palmer when Palmer is fit? More important than Esteval? Let me hear your thoughts in the comments. What Sunday showed us is that Rhys James is not just a great right back. He is a leader. He is a warrior. He is someone who can play multiple positions at the highest level and dominate in all of them. When Chelsea needed him most, when they were down to 10 men against the best team in England, James delivered a performance that had opposition legends praising him, that had pundits calling him a beast, that had his manager saying they needed something special, and James gave them exactly that. This was leadership. This was what captains are made for. Maresca said James' performance was fantastic and top, but they need to manage him carefully because he has a game on Wednesday against Leeds. That tells you everything. James is so important that even after a man of the match display, Maresca has to protect him, has to make sure he is fresh, has to make sure those injury problems that haunted him in previous seasons do not come back. Chelsea cannot afford to lose him now. This is Rhys James in 2025. Fit, firing, leading from the front, showing the world why Chelsea made him captain, showing Arsenal why they should fear coming to Stamford Bridge, showing everyone watching that when this man is on form and healthy and playing with confidence, there is nobody better in his position anywhere in world football. Nobody can touch him when he plays like this. The draw might feel like 2 points dropped to some fans, but the way James played, the way he led that team with 10 men for over 50 minutes, the way he earned respect from opposition legends and managers and pundits, that is worth more than 3 points. That is a statement. That is Chelsea announcing They are back among the elite and ready to compete. And Rhys James is leading the charge.